Jinugod sits on the bench, towel across his shoulders, trying to look ordinary. He is the opposite of ordinary, and she already knows it. Across from him, a pink-haired girl kneels on the dirt, tears streaking her face, caught mid-chase like a thief with pockets full of lies. So you recognized Yujia and followed her because you are a fan. He says it flat, no cruelty, just the sentence she cannot talk her way out of. She wails, tiny fists up, cheeks burning, every pitch of her voice trying to rewrite the last 10 seconds. He keeps going. That is still called following someone. Truth lands like a status effect, and 3 little hearts drain right in front of her. A system box hovers between them. Status effect, truth bomb. She is on the ground. He is leaning back. 2 wildly uneven health bars. Her wide eyes spill over. She was not ready to hear the sentence she had been running from for weeks. Then rage. She lunges, pink hair whipping, fists on his collar. But what about you, Oppa? You followed her too. Hypocrisy is a two-way street. Noses almost touching, both glaring, sweat flying, words dropping. The gentle park bench moment is officially dead. She pleads her case, hands flailing. There is a family clause in their contract. She was going to meet Yujia sooner or later, she swears it. Yujia greeting me, he repeats, voice flat. But not now. Whatever is coming cannot wait for contract formalities and family dinners. She explodes, chibi-sized, fists pumping. Tell me already. Just charge in without thinking. He does not answer, and that is its own answer. She leans in close, tears trembling on her lashes, sighing out the last of her fight. Please just give me one real sentence. He looks up at the sky, at sunlight pouring through distant cloud. All right. The truth is, something old in his chest finally gives way. A tiny green and gold fairy hangs in the air, catching a single drop of clear liquid. His story will come out the same way, one careful bead at a time. She is in tears again, mouth round with desperation, yanking at his sleeve. The patience of a summoner's little sister has officially run out. He starts at the edges. I met Gia while going back and forth to headquarters because of all that. That's right, that is when it began for real. She tilts her head, a tiny hem escaping, finger on her chin. The mode switch from rage to curiosity is almost audible. He lets himself smile. I remember you playing some mobile game a lot back then. Was it that one? A safer door into the hard conversation? Yeah, she admits, sheepish. She has been playing summoner simulators for about a year. He nods. I cannot reveal that I am Jinugod yet. Her eyes go full starburst. For that trash game, she gasps. The grind of her boring afternoons just became a national security document. She leans into his shoulder on the bench, glowing, pink hair haloed by sparkles. His own mouth twitches. He is trying not to smile back. A montage of memory. Tense hands, shadowed figures around a table. My identity comes after. He needs to protect his family first. Always first. She sits back, arms folded, legs crossed. By the way, why are you only telling me now? The question every sibling eventually sharpens. In his memory, a red-haired woman stands with masked guards, cold and amused, the kind of attention that does not let go once it latches. A crossbow glints in that same memory, an arrow pointed at something he loves. This is why silence was never cowardice. It was armor. He explains the next layer. Someone has been watching him. Not casually. The brown-haired boy and the green-skinned figure from his past stay with him. Behind the narration, a dark knight silhouette rises, horned, patient. The quiet partner that has been holding the line while he pretended to be nobody. She sits there with her phone. Jaw dropped, eyes blown wide. The brother she has been teasing about household chores is apparently a walking top 10 headline. Her screen lights up. They have got everything except what I actually need. The grocery app, calm and cruel like always. She stands in a dotted beige limbo. Tap, tap, tap. The gears grinding. The pivot is coming and you can feel it arriving before she speaks. Excuse me, dear brother, she tries. Eyes closed, voice sweet enough to rot teeth. The tap, tap, tap of a girl already drafting an invoice. On her screen, a summoner simulator banner. 500 million. Over 20 years. You want me to buy this? It is a statement, not a request. He lifts his own phone back at her, half smirking. Just wait. The quiet confidence of a guy who knows he can afford it and is enjoying the bluff. She pleafs, blushing, laughing, already cataloging this moment in her forever blackmail folder. They trade a few more jokes. He tells her to forget it all just for now. She tells him please don't die wherever he goes. He stands, stretches, waves a hand. Let's head back, training's done. In the distance, a tiny summon flutters behind him, still on duty. Her smile drops the moment his back turns. Something feels off, she thinks. It's like Oppa isn't quite here with me anymore. 1 week later, a red portal churns inside an arcade labeled SPA Zone. Tactical gear, suited escorts, a red-haired woman watching the entrance. A brown-haired guy in a crisp jacket grins at him. What's this? The smile is too wide. The red-haired woman behind him does not smile at all. A friendly hand drops onto his shoulder from behind, fingers that look one grip away from pulling steel. Welcoming and warning in the same breath. Oh, he breathes, standing in the red glow of the portal. A recording word blinks in his palm. This feels more intense than the run itself. The red-haired woman looks up at him. I'm not sure it will be a clean run. Is that okay? Permission to burn the place down, politely requested. He answers without words, just presence. Red light swirls at his side. A prism of power flickers, answering the portal in its own language. The red-haired woman stands behind him. Long coat, long hair, clipboard in hand. Don't be just a runner, she says. A higher bar, always. Red sneakers crunch forward on clean arcade tile, one step from leaving this world behind. Crimson light peels up around his heel. The world flips. A horned dark angel rises over him, red eyes opening, silhouetted against a split sky and a far-off castle on the hill. Targeting the boss directly hits an altered strategy. A system box murmurs. The equipment's working perfectly. He breathes, steady, already counting. A blue summon chamber flares. His hand lifts into cold light, a clean glow across his face. The veteran move, perfectly timed. Weapons materialize. A winged figure rises in golden smoke. A shirtless fighter emerges from the glow. The lineup is stacked and it knows it. Countdown. 29:59. 29:58. A horned silhouette explodes into motion across the ledge, hooves already striking stone. A tiger-fanged beast roars up from the darkness, ribs exposed, claws bared, a mouthful of teeth that was waiting for exactly this moment. Blades swing. A tiny fairy summon lifts a knight off the ground. He stands at the center, sword ready, dungeon burning. The real work starts now. The hooded stranger lifts his head first. Calm eyes, hidden face. The kind of silence that makes armed men reconsider every choice already made. Brown hair, ice blue eyes, jaw set like stone. He stands with the composure of someone who measures the room before the room measures him. The thugs spot the recording lens. Every loud boast dies in their throats as a dungeon countdown ticks above them in cold blue digits. One man charges the floating skull anyway. A single swing shatters bone. Blood arcs sideways, and the room understands what silence was buying. A horned brute roars behind him, flame turtle muscle swelling to full height. The hall shakes. The fight has actually begun now. High above on a ridge, a second him stares at a distant purple crown and exhales. His summons are holding. For now, he can breathe. Combat Sheriff rises at his side, barrel steadying, the room narrowing around a single target line. The shot is already measured before it leaves the chamber. A golden beam rips through the hall, wide enough to erase a wall. Then the smoke clears and the lich is still drifting, unburnt and unbothered. He reminds himself of the weakness. The lich has paper-thin health. One clean hit kills it. That single fact is his entire plan. A bare palm punches out of nowhere, glove glinting, slamming the tattooed gang leader's jaw so hard his next threat never lands. Gold blood ribbons through the air. The angel reloads her spear. The lich pulls its aura tight, bracing for the shot it can already feel coming. Open fire. The scope crosshair settles on hollow sockets. His finger finds the trigger, calm as arithmetic, and the hallway holds its breath. The lich rears, chest blown open by a lance of pure light. Energy spills out of the wound like the spell itself is unraveling from the inside. A memory flickers through, white feathers and a kneeling angel crowned in gold. Same light, same judgment, different battlefield, same man pulling the trigger. Combat Sheriff cycles the bolt. Cold eyes under a cap, steam in the air, one shot loaded into the chamber like he's punching a clock. Sweat runs down his temple under the sheriff's cap. A small, tired smile slips out. Even routine work like this still costs him something. The lich hunches in purple rags, skull hollow, damage mounting. Next to the other bosses, it already looks small, already looks like something that loses. Its health bar steadily drops. Another round strikes, then another, and the rogue jerks with each hit like a puppet losing its strings. Low-grade bosses have shallow health, weak armor, short patience. One clean hit ends them. The math has never once betrayed him on this floor. The horned brute roars through gold dust, muscles twitching, refusing to drop. Statistics said easy kill. This creature clearly never read the stat sheet. A purple spear streaks across a dusk sky. The brute twists, mouth wide, jagged teeth bared against a magic he never learned to counter. A white skull mask floats in the blood behind him, grinning. Even in victory, the hall stays haunted. Every shadow still owed a debt. The skull creature lunges forward, maw gaping, fangs longer than reason. In that split second, fear has a real bony face, and it is laughing. He stays rooted, cloak catching light, one hand hanging loose at his side. Calm even now, especially now when calm is the only weapon he trusts. The weapon he raises is a spoon. Plain metal, kitchen drawer ordinary, angled between two fingers like the world's smallest guillotine. The spoon fires. Bone explodes. The skull splits down the middle, a scream snapping short on a piece of silverware nobody saw coming. He exhales. Even top-grade players follow rules, limits, cooldowns. His rules are just cheaper, sharper, and shaped like whatever he finds in the kitchen. A violet scythe flickers through the gloom. The lich slumps, robes collapsing, every ounce of stolen power draining back into the floor. Boss monster defeated. Dungeon cleared. The national record shatters in blue text while a golden-winged angel hovers over the final hostage. He flips the bloody spoon once in the air. How's that for a murder tactic, he thinks, and nobody in the hall has a clever answer. A ranking board glows on the left. A tall woman in a sharp black suit strides the glass corridor. Two men trail her. Pace synced, heads lowered. She murmurs that it has only been a week since they placed the summons in his hands. A week, and already the board is changing shape. The brown-haired handler slips past, eyes forward, office tower gleaming behind him. A thin thread of amusement sits on his mouth like a loose string. The woman turns her head. Long black hair, tired eyes, hands tucked into pockets of a suit that fits like a threat. She is measuring them both. The bearded handler concedes it. Breaking the Tuesday dungeon record is impressive, sure, the words aimed flat at whoever gets to sign the next contract. The Monday dungeon rank board glows. Kang Gyan-ho sits at the top in white. The other names are ghosts waiting for someone to climb over them. A close angle on her jaw. A small, private smile moves and is gone. Whatever she is planning is already 2 steps ahead of the room. The brown-haired handler glances away. Neon cyber glow washing his cheek. A single bead of sweat. He is not as relaxed as his grin pretended. She faces the leaderboard. This is a business she started with her own money, she reminds them, voice quiet enough to outrank any shouting. The two handlers stand side by side now. Polished suits, matching ties, matching silence. They wait for her to finish drawing the next line. Golden wings open behind her shoulders for half a second. Their salaries will not change either, she says, and both men dip their heads in unison. They bow like chess pieces, agreeing to be chess pieces. She tucks her hands away and keeps walking through her dream of a workplace. A wooden chest cracks open. A green sprite drifts out, peering up at him with bug eyes. Runic rings begin tracing circles around his waist. A system window blares cyan, text stabbing across its border. 9 minutes, 13 seconds. The cleared time bar keeps shrinking like a countdown for something else. The HQ control room erupts. A young technician half stands over the console. A supervisor at the rear bellows, dark tie, darker mood, demanding one name. The monitor resolves. A profile picture slides in. Black hair, steady eyes. Baek Jinwoo. The letters land on the screen like a signed warrant. The tech's face goes pale. Crazy, he mutters. His colleague cranes in, jaw slack. Baek Jinwoo and Horang Fyondi top the Monday chart together. A hand trembles over a tablet. A torn ranking slip flutters down, ink smearing. Incredible, someone whispers. The record is rewriting faster than they can process. A palm presses flat against the monitor, fingers splayed. From behind, only hair and shoulders, and the small tremor of someone trying not to shake. The hand clenches. A single shred of paper drifts past the fist. Torn, discarded, the last doubt about what he just did. A half smile opens on her face. One slow tear clings to her lash. Long dark hair falls forward as she finally lets the moment land. She steadies herself, arms crossed, suit crisp. If things go her way, she decides quietly, this kid is going to be a massive jackpot. The red sky still trembles with the echo of the last summon, a crack in the world refusing to close around him. Jinugod steps from the dark blue portal, staff in hand, cloaked figures waiting like witnesses to something they cannot name. Purple light blooms around him, scrolls fanning out, summons circling as if the roster itself has grown hungry for more. A golden-winged angel unfurls above the scroll circle, wings shedding soft light while the summoner calibrates his deck. Ramba hovers close, her tiny wings buzzing with pressure, green eyes locked on the formation her master is building. He turns their training into drills, no wasted motion, every summon learning to brace and strike beside the next. A red-haired girl in white flares like a signal fire, sparks raining across her summoning circle in a spiral of gold. Crimson energy twists into new shape, a golden phrase forming mid-air like a verdict passed down by the system. Focus narrows to a black jacket offered across a gloved hand, quiet, deliberate, a small transaction riding on huge secrets. A tall woman in sharp suit meets Jinugod on the street, calm as a sheathed blade beside a loaded weapon. She tells him the footage will never leak, and the promise lands heavier than any printed contract could carry. Her eye lingers on him, one narrow pupil sharp as a security clause, measuring the weapon she has agreed to guard. Jinugod walks the glass canyon of the city, wrist tech blinking, thoughts circling one word that refuses to settle: family. With Baek managing him exclusively, his home should finally sit behind real walls and watchful, trained eyes. She stands in profile against a mosaic of color, long hair like a shut door, voice low enough to promise without witnesses. Understood, she answers, and the word lands heavier than all the paperwork stacked in the headquarters behind her. Ramba glows beside the shadow of the horned brute, a quiet reminder of how close last week came to breaking him. Back in the Tuesday gauntlet, slimes barely squelch before his summons tear through them like a drill session. Jinugod dusts the record off his shoulders, collar zipped, a small thorny smirk pulling at the corner of his mouth. The portal reopens, the same blue spiral he reads like a clock, a new battleground waiting on the other side. Wednesday dungeon rises colder than the last, stone fangs punching through mist, silence pressing hard on the lungs. Speed enchantments ignite, his body skimming across ice shelves faster than any debrief team can hope to track. The first guardian crashes in, a hulking blue-furred brute wrapped in frost, claws out and hungry for first blood. Overhead, a golden angel and a white phoenix cut through blizzard, trading strikes with ice-armored knights mid-air. Jinugod plants himself on a broken pillar with Rachel and a small fox summoned beside him, breathing steady, reading the arena. The ice golem lurches, its fist the size of a car, the entire world tightening around one shared heartbeat. Rachel throws her arms around him and pivots, covering his back as the fist comes down, trust shown at full speed. He slides loose just in time, a jagged ice spear ripping through the space his chest occupied a blink ago. However, the fight is not over, and the dungeon unfolds another layer of danger across the freezing canyon floor. The boss raises fresh ice boulders from the ground, shaping terrain like clay around a cold sculptor's clenched fists. Rachel's voice cuts clean through the wind, low and certain, telling him to get ready for the kill move. Her red hair flares wide as she pivots, eyes narrowing into focus, every muscle locking tight into the strike. Jaw set, she inhales once, a soldier taking the last breath before the trigger finally gives under pressure. Her hand snaps forward. Fire and blades collapse over the boss in one rolling crescendo, every summon striking on the same hard heartbeat. The system window flares clean and cold. Boss monster defeated. Dungeon cleared. Clear time 4 minutes, 22 seconds. Jinugod lifts a fist with a quiet yes, the smallest celebration anyone has ever given a national record. The ice golem kneels behind him, bound as a new contract, while Rachel and the white fox stand proud on snow. He breathes out, almost smiling. Another personal best logged into a book that no longer has room for his numbers. Ramba zips above him, a tiny green comet cheering like the only fan in an unlit, half-empty stadium. And then the phones begin to light up, one news app opening across a million idle screens at the same instant. A new national record. Wednesday dungeon cleared in 4:22. The question sits right under the headline, who is Baek Jinwoo? On a city sidewalk, a stranger mouths the unfamiliar name, staring down into the pale glow of his handset. A woman leans over her table, comparing photos, whispering that this is the same guy who cleared Tuesday dungeon. Jinugod walks in a crisp suit through a paper storm of newsprint, the headline trailing him like a second shadow. A name cuts through rain and steel, Baek Jinwoo, and nobody in the city hallway can agree on who he even is. Two young men trade gossip over cold drinks, whispering that some unknown rookie just shattered Kang Gainho's Thursday dungeon record. Tabloids pile up on a polished desk, each headline screaming about the world's fastest clear, yet a hand slides them aside like yesterday's trash. A bearded assemblyman leans back, tablet cradled, the headline mocking him through polished glass as a subordinate hovers nearby. The subordinate reminds him of the tip that landed them the last scandal, the same source that handed Park Chang-suk a clean kill shot. Back then, the old association refused to budge, clinging to their haul until the leaked intel forced every hand onto the table. The info was legit, the assemblyman admits, half amused and half wounded, sinking deeper into the throne of his own office, a close, sweating jawline. The assemblyman is not relaxed. He is calculating, hunting, sweating through a designer collar. Politics is all that matters, he mutters, as approval ratings light the room in sickly green and gold. His frustration boils over. He cannot believe he kicked away a golden goose that practically landed in his lap. A younger operative stands quiet, tablet in hand, waiting for orders like a blade balanced on a fingertip. Reach out to that Baek Jinwoo player again, the assemblyman orders. Directly, no filters, no headquarters. One pale eye fills the scene, cold and political. We need to reel him back in, whatever it takes. Meanwhile, far from that office, a portal yawns open above ice and flame, and a hooded figure steps into the glow. A single word lingers on a title plate, and then, the real training begins, quiet and unseen. Tuesday dungeons stretch out before Jinugod, golden and windswept, less a battlefield and more a personal gym. He still drops plenty of useful skills in there, so the farm continues, quiet, methodical, lucrative. Sunday dungeons, though, are a different beast, so he excuses himself with a wry half-smile to his wind fairy. Thursday is way easier, he notes, teasing Ramba about another warm-up session before actual training begins. Now he's sipping juice behind dark shades, grinning like a part-time hero on vacation, Ramba floating beside him amused. So they decide it. Sundays are now their official day off. The wind fairy is already snoring. Monday explodes red. A B-rank monster warning strobes the rock walls as a massive horned brute stomps into view. A shaggy green skull turns slowly, a single blood-red eye opening like an execution signal across the stone. Textbook strategy, Jinugod murmurs. B-rank white wolf to drain the die-down duration. He raises a glowing blade. Angels, wolves, a storm of summons unloads on the brute as Jinugod strolls through the chaos like a manager. Honestly though, he admits, he can't exactly sell this video as a clean guide for other players to copy. He's practically cosplaying a cooking show host. Today's recipe, B-ranked root golem, before he drops the iron pot. A titanium-shelled brute rises from the ruins, but Jinugod already knows the weakness and the opening. Ramba takes the stage, her tiny body blazing, staff lifted as a gale force angel arcs across the arena. The monster takes the hits in a rain of blood and cracked stone, staggering through a ravine that cannot hold it. Then the golden-winged angel descends in a pillar of fire, finishing what Ramba started in one shrieking dive. A clear timer blinks in Jinugod's hand, 6 minutes, 50 seconds, and he is smiling like a boy who cheated gravity. The drill instructor is seriously broken. He laughs as a distant raider figure tumbles across the cracked plain. Not that he plans to use this brute as a man-jar for his final dungeon, he insists, staring into golden dust. Because honestly, with just one properly leveled blast dragon, the math already tilts absurdly in his favor. Even top-tier dungeons take the elite a record to clear, Ramba reminds him, proud in her little white robes. He grins, an arm raised, promising a pattern of hard work that will bury his old record in a heartbeat. All right, he says at last, let's run it again. The portal reopens, and the wind fairy dives back inside with him. Back in the city, Jinugod steps out of a blue portal, only to find a suited stranger already waiting at the door. 2 men, sharp suits, sharper smiles, stand before him asking if he is the Baek Jinwoo player the whole city now chases. A polished card slides forward, the world etched in blue on its face, the assemblyman's crest waiting silent underneath. Ah, okay, Jinugod answers flat as stone, taking the card without even glancing at the name embossed on it. What do you want? He asks, voice cool. He thought headquarters was a closed door, yet here they are again. The handler smiles too wide, explaining the office has reviewed the proposal Jinugod rejected last time. Since he's now proven his capabilities, they're suddenly ready to make a very, very generous offer. Ah, that Jinugod sighs, and gently raises a hand, already weighing whether to laugh or walk away from it. Forget about it, he says, almost kind, returning the card like an unwanted flyer shoved under his door. The suits freeze. He walks past them into the light, leaving politics, power, and a very angry assemblyman behind. A glass tower, a proposal binder, a corporate voice promising review. Jinugod feels the hook sliding under his collar again. His hand rises in a quiet dismissal. 2 words land like a door closing. Forget it. Nothing else needs saying. 2 suits freeze beneath neon. Excuse me hangs in the air, sweat beating where confidence used to sit. Jinugod folds his arms, jaw set. They dressed up the pitch to look like friendship, but the kennel is still a kennel, already signed with a company. The sentence drops clean, no apology attached. Take any complaint upstairs to you, Baek. The senior manager walks off with a smile that refuses to crack. His subordinate stares after him, a question forming he will not like answering. The subordinate pieces it together, color draining from his face. Ujia, Dasung Group, the same circle they just mocked. Jinugod's golden eye narrows as he walks away. I have a feeling. Trouble has a habit of tailing a rising rank. Late that night, a chat screen glows in the dark. Baek Jinwoo, you asleep? I just keep thinking about you. Morning breaks over a living city. Leaves shiver in the balcony breeze, the skyline indifferent to anyone's confession. Memory reminds him of the ceiling above every hunter, Friday dungeons and their monsters, the bar no solo rider has ever broken. He flexes his fingers inside a blue-lit training rig. Start practicing now. The grind has no weekends. The first pillar bursts from the floor in a spiral of blue mist. A sky wyvern uncoils against the sun, EX grade made real. Its wing beat shoves the shield system to the edge of tolerance. The barrier holds by a thread, buzzing a warning in green. Up close the beast is polite. Crystal horns, quiet chirp, a dragon behaving like a house cat above the clouds. Jinugod rests a palm on its snout. A boy, a tame storm, and a skyline quietly rearranging what is possible. He climbs up with a grin, settles between the wings. The ride of his life has not even started yet. Let's head to the East Sea. The Wyvern banks and the training room folds into open sky. Wind rips past his jaw, his eyes widening as the horizon tilts. The raw velocity registers only now. Skyscrapers blur into streaks beneath the wings. Whoa, faster than expected, faster than any solo mount has ever managed. He grips the saddle and leans forward. Let's go. 2 words, a heartbeat, the city dropping away behind him. Off the coast of Yangyang, the sea opens like a second sky. Clouds stack over waves with nothing in the way. Boots thud into wet sand. A red-haired summon in white robes bows on the beach. My lord. Praise spills from her in bright sparks. Your speed of learning is incredible, amazing. She means every syllable. He rubs the back of his neck, modest against the crimson enthusiasm. But it's true. Rank 1 does not argue with results. He struggled at first, hovering more than flying. The wyvern cheered him on, 1 wing beat at a time. Fox-eared admiration glows from the red-haired summon. As expected of Jinugod, truly worthy of being our master. He deflects with a half smile. Yeah, thanks. Behind him, a forgotten summon pouts, wondering why the nickname skipped him. He turns toward the surf, plans stacking in his head. Next is sky dolphin diving practice. The sea owes him a lesson. I'm counting on you guys. The summons beam, and he hands the weight of the next trial to his allies. A few days later, reality tiles itself into a floating arena of colored blocks. Friday dungeon, rendered like a child's game. A blue portal flares at the starting line. A lone figure steps forward, shadows of other runners staggered far behind. A headset wire traces down his black coat. 1 green dot live, 1 red dot waiting. Record run, quiet breath, wind falcon. The summon flashes a light beside him. Player sprint will begin in 10 seconds. Reach the destination as quickly as possible. The fakel banks through crystal turbulence, a streak of cyan and feather. Screech. The course welcomes its first breaker. Red countdown plates blaze 3, 2, 1 above a neon runway. Jinugod stands on the stripe, eyes lifted to the sky. Launch! He explodes off the line, coat snapping behind him as the dungeon tears past in stripes of neon. A golden stride, a metal barrier shredding beside his shoulder. His golden eye tracks every vector like a blade. Other hunters fall behind on the colored tiles, smaller and slower. Now that I'm doing it myself, I get it. He slides into a low, lean, hair-whipping grin half-formed. More fun than controlling it through a screen. His golden iris sparks with mischief. Now's the time to enter the first hidden route. A secret he should not know yet. The dungeon lurches as he cuts off the main track. Light shards stream past, a zone the leaderboard has never seen. A downward drop opens underneath him, air screaming. He summons something new in the plunge, a wing of white breaking loose. The sky splits in vertical strikes of light. Whatever comes through is big enough to redraw the ceiling. A sky dolphin surfaces beside him, blue as a summer tide. Sky dolphin. The boy and the beast share a laugh mid-fall. Impact with the water detonates into a crown of spray. The course response is instant, the record system quietly panicking. Underwater, he rides the dolphin through coral lanes. I can swim past all the obstacles above. The hidden route rewards the clever. He bursts from the surface in a geyser, summons the next call. Sky Wyvern. The sea gives him back to the air. From here on, the Wyvern takes over. It's time to fly. A cape of shadow arcs over the cliffs. Lightning blue barriers crack under their approach. I just need to fly over the remaining obstacles. Every gate a formality now. The finish arch burns red ahead, goal. The Wyvern rips the ribbon as Jinugod's silver hair flares bright. A translucent blue notice hangs in front of his grin. New record registered. Every old time on the board just became history. Purple confetti explodes across the sky as he rides the Wyvern upward. Somewhere far below, a leaderboard trembles, and rivals are already watching.